got here?
We are at Cutting Edge Fabrication. Motor mounts, some shock mounts.
Yep.
The madman himself.
The Sender, the madman. Dustin's been on the channel back in the day. Now he's the guy with the tools. The nice tools. We're gonna make some motor mounts and reinforcement for the RZR. Dustin brought up some good points when he watched our video last time. We need to reinforce a lot of stuff here, so if we're gonna move the shock mount over a little bit, probably should make that pillar a little bit stronger because not very strong, is it?
No, there's nothing holding it from going that direction.
Nope. Yep, good point. So Dustin's gonna help us out and we're gonna have a professional motor mount welded into here.
We call it that, fake it till you make it, right?
Yeah.
Hanging with the semi-pros.
So yeah, we
in my element.
definitely.
My rednecks here. Ratchet straps holding it up, ratchet straps holding it down, little belt slap here and there.
We've also got a nice high-low over there because that's gonna make putting this engine in and out a lot easier. So it's gonna work out pretty good. Gonna have to start lining things up once we get some more reinforcement done, but yeah, we'll have to really line things up and then figure things out as we go, I think. But we're gonna probably use the original motor mount bracket here, not these brackets, but this pillar here. Probably gonna go with that. That's what the RZR engine mounts to it in the front. We'll probably just utilize that because it's got like dampeners and stuff on it to reinforce the transmission back here. And so I think that's gonna be the first thing is get this mounted and then align the engine with that because that's, you gotta align the two clutches together. It's really the most important part. We'll get after it, figure some things out. Dustin just finished welding up. Well, he still got to weld up that side, but got that bracket made, this side's made. And right now we are lining up the transmission. And then we're gonna make at least one mount for it.
Yeah, getting the secondary level.
Yeah, we're getting, really just getting this, make sure that the secondary is level and as straight as possible. And then we'll have to align the engine with the secondary. That's our thought process on this. Dustin's making some CAD. So we're trying to come up with an engine mount for the bottom bracket. It's raining good out there right now.
Yeah,
That was easy.
just like that.
Just like that. Just a lot of prep work. Nice, let's see how good she lined up.
I think it's gonna work.
Oh yeah.
Look at that money.
Like butter. Look at that clean weld. Nice, coming along. So now we're gonna make a bracket that comes up to here, and I mean, that's gonna be so strong. I was thinking about making tubing and stuff, but that's a way better idea.
Yeah.
I'm glad Dustin's involved with this. Most of them are under the transmission still. Now it's time to start mocking up the engine and hopefully making some mounts here today. Take the shock back out and we're gonna have to line this up with the secondary and probably gonna lean the engine kind of like how it was in the Snowmobile a little bit, just so it makes the header for the exhaust a little bit straighter coming out and trying to find our distance between the secondary and primary. So we're coming up with a bracket to throw in here for now. To set our distance. So luckily this mounting bracket and this mounting bracket almost line up perfectly right here. So we're gonna put a mounting bracket right there. And then once we get this figured out, we're happy with it, then we'll put brackets up at the front on the dampener up there and that'll be our set distance.
Right in here.
Yep. And then I don't know if we need to put a bracket over here or not. Probably should to help with
maybe
torque and
just to
stuff.
tie it in.
So we could probably tie it down to this bracket down here. I think it's gonna fit pretty darn good. And then
Hell yeah.
this is gonna
Relocating the shocks.
relocation of the
up in
shock is
here.
gonna be somewhere in here. It's gonna come along. Especially with the help of Dustin. This made life a lot easier.
A lot easier. The metal guru doing his thing. Getting some straps on it. Getting it level, straight.
That might be a little tight. Coming along, right?
It's looking like a side-by-side.
Yeah, I got main mounts back here. Got mounts to the transmission. Transmission's mounted down there. And then we got the mounts up here that not done yet, but we're gonna put some spacers and stuff in there. But we just came down to this bar and yeah, she ain't going anywhere. Looking good. Now we're gonna mock up the shock mounts and then we're kind of set for a while.
Heck yeah.
Cutting edge fab. Check him out.
Precision,
professional.
accurate,
Everything
professional,
looks amazing.
cutting edge fabrication.
Yep. The link will be in the channel down in the
Leroy,
description.
Michigan.
What do you all do?
Everything.
Everything?
Make a lot of signs, but I look to get into more of the
More-
custom fabrication.
More custom stuff. He does powder coating and
CNC plasma cutting,
Yep.
welding, and whatever else.
check him out. If you need anything, let him know. Go to his website and he'll get it done for you.
He's always up for a challenge.
Yes. Oh, she's moving again. All right, guys, we got the RZR back in the headquarters here. I still gotta put the correct bolts to mount this in. I'm just trying to come up with the right stuff, get some new nylon nuts. The new throttle pedal and throttle cable came in because pretty much all the new Polaris RZRs and stuff, these electronic throttle bodies and stuff. I went and bought a 2013 Polaris RZR 900 XP throttle pedal and brake pedal, but we're gonna highly modify the pedal into this RZR and we'll take this pedal out because we just can't use it. And then we're gonna run the throttle cable to the back of here. Brand new aftermarket cable. It's actually meant for a 4-seater because I wasn't sure how long I needed it to be, and this is gonna be plenty long enough. It's probably maybe a foot too long, maybe a little longer. It's hard to say. This locking mechanism is gonna be different, so we'll have to figure that out. We might have to. Looks like we're gonna have to make our own threads in this brace to make this work. I think that this end is actually gonna work just fine, so I'm gonna do that right now. We're gonna take this old one out. So the next step on this whole RZR, I'm gonna strip most of these plastics off going to the dash because I need them out of the way for wiring and for running the throttle cable. So I haven't done anything super exciting yet. I'm really just taking things off on this thing so I can access places. So, you know, I got the dash off. I can access the gas tank now because I'm gonna be doing a lot of work with that. The main harness for the Polaris RZR, don't think I really need hardly any of it. So I'm not gonna take it all out yet, but at some point, once I get things figured out, I'm probably just gonna cut the harness and pull it both ways and just pull it out of there. Right now I'm gonna take the electric water pump out that runs the intercooler on this. Don't need it, so we're gonna rip that out. As you can see, made some progress. We just got the whole plastic panel in here and the subframe. Actually, that can come out too. And that's where your seats sit on and where the shifter goes. Do you want to take that, Wyatt?
Yeah.
So I'm just kind of fishing out the old harness. Just we're probably not going to use any of it. Maybe parts of it here and there. So I'll probably just use it as for extra wiring when I make my own custom harness running through here. Main thing that we're going to be doing is hooking up the wiring, making sure things are going to fit where they need to go. Also, if we figured some things out, so the air box is going to sit in there. We're going to have an access port here. We got this supporting bracket out here for the firewall. That's just out for now. And Wyatt got some fuel line. So basically what we're doing, apparently I've never really heard of this, but you looked it up, or one of your buddies told you about this fuel filter. Want to explain what this filter does?
It's just, I was looking, a guy at work told me about it. Old hot rods and shit that have siphon lines like the RZR tank, and then the one line to the fuel, like the nitro. You can get a 2 in, 1 out fuel filter. Basically, it's kind of like a Y for fuel lines.
So we don't have it yet. We're going to order one, but essentially you'll have a filter here and the pressure will go in, and then it'll do its thing, and then the return line from the filter also goes back down to the tank, and then at the other end of the filter is just a single outlet that would run to the fuel rail. So basically the fuel regulation happens inside the filter. Essentially, it just diverts it back into the tank. That's gonna be way easier. It should work, and that's gonna be way easier than replacing the pump.
A lot of people run them on Jeeps back in the day, so building a Jeep and throw a V8 in it or something.
Yeah, right, for custom stuff. So.
That was in the reviews I read. The guy said it worked great for his Jeep build.
So Jeep guys using it a lot. All right, makes sense to me. So we got a lot of work ahead of us yet.
Yes.
Wow, man.
What's going on, bud?
This is looking pretty custom at this angle.
Yeah.
No floors, nothing.
Kind of really like it.
To do what Side by Side blog did is put a clear floor in there.
That'd be cool.
That would be pretty sweet. Yeah, so we took the floor out and the skid plate, just to make life way easier running wires and everything through here, and especially taking apart the coolant lines.
To do wheelies, I'd be able to see where I'm going.
Yeah, there you go. We're at my favorite part of this build, but it's gonna be probably the most boring part of the build, and that's gonna be wiring the harness to the RZR. So probably not gonna record much of this because it's gonna take a while. We're gonna hook into the RZR key switch to the ECU of the Snowmobile engine, and we'll be running everything from that. So that's the first step, is just getting power to the ECU and then getting everything else hooked up. Wyatt's back in town.
Always good when I show up, ain't it?
Oh, well, it's usually because we're working on this. That's why you're here.
Yeah.
So it might not look like it, but a lot of progress has been made.
Yeah. You went ham on.
Yeah, so we're just working on getting the wiring hooked up to the key switch and stuff, and I just learned out. I mean, I do have power going to the fuel pump and other places, but I wasn't able to get it to start with the Polaris RZR key switch. So I did just find out, looking at a wire diagram, that the Snowmobile key switch completes a circuit, whereas in the RZR key switch sends a signal out, so they weren't going to be compatible. I'm hooking back the Yamaha key switch, and probably should have just done that from the start, but not gonna be a big deal. We're gonna have to make this hole a little bigger, and the key switch will go right in there. Not a big deal. So we got power, it cranks over, and here's that fuel pump that Wyatt was talking about.
Found this at the local parts store.
So what we're gonna be doing, basically what happens is that your fuel pump will send fuel to this filter, and it'll get regulated back down to the tank. That's why there's two inlets. It's a circle, and then right here, what the pressure that's left will get put to the fuel rail, and yeah, it should work. So that's what we're doing. Yeah, Wyatt's been riding the struggle bus for feels like an hour, but
what a good friend.
hooking up these lines to this filter, and
Fuel filter anyway.
they're not easy to put on. We'll just go with that. Wyatt's mumbling to himself here.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, I didn't see you there. So he's got half of it done now. I figured out the wiring issue. So the Yamaha key switch did fix our problems. Well, at least some of them. Basically, in the last video at the beginning, for some reason I couldn't get it to start. I'm pretty sure that the key switch has a short in it somewhere. So sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So right now,
Yamaha.
right now, so I noticed if the screen does a lot of flashing, it means that it's probably shorted out and I'm just not getting proper signal, but I'm gonna crank it over what. See it? Yeah, see it turn itself off. Sometimes it works. So, yeah, we're gonna get a new key switch in order, but otherwise I do have it wired properly now. And once we get the fuel lines hooked up, we're gonna test out the fuel pump, and we're not gonna start it, but we're actually getting close to starting it, to be honest.
Very close.
We still gotta wire the fan up and we still gotta put the oil pan and stuff on, but it's still really close to at least testing it out.
A lot closer than I thought it would be this time.
Yeah, same here. We're gonna keep on trucking along, and then once we get this hooked up, we'll see how the fuel pump works. And I do have fuel pump and the fuel gauge working on that monitor, so it should read accurately. So, and yeah, we also need to have to look into that. Can't forget to hook up the power steering on this thing. So
yeah, you know right away and you forget that.
Yeah, actually, I do need to run an accessory wire to the bus bar here. So I'm gonna do that right now. I just gotta bypass into one of them. I gotta redo it again, but story of my life. And moment of truth, Wyatt.
I get the fuel line all hooked up.
So we're gonna turn the key on. We'll see. Well, the pump should run because I had it running, but we'll see. There's not much fuel in it, so we'll see how much it primes up, and then hopefully nothing explodes.
Hope not.
All right, key is turning on. Hell yeah!
No leaks.
No leaks. Well, I'm gonna cycle a couple times, but yeah. Not seeing any leaks.
Good to go.
And then you can see what it'll at the bottom it'll cycle. There you go. Normally I was blinking.
Yeah.
Now it's a solid bar.
Hell yeah.
So she's low on fuel, but
Hey, I drained all of it out.
so yeah, hopefully that works. So at least it primed up and stuff. Everybody says it does work, so I'm
A
assuming.
lot of people use them on Jeeps. So.
Yeah, I think that's gonna work for us. So hell yeah, good job.
Man.
Good job, Wyatt. Wyatt figured that all out on his own too.
I did.
Gauge, we could hook up the fuel pressure gauge and make sure that we are getting the proper fuel pressure through all that. We do have a lot more electrical to hook up, but that's gonna take a while. Once we get most of the electrical hooked up, we are going to fire up the engine in the next video. It is at that point. We have to hook up the oil reservoir and at least put the headers on, and that's going to be custom. So make sure you guys stay tuned. In the next video, we will have it running and hopefully drivable. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys have a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays, and we'll see you in the next video.